Hello, hello, lovely humans. It's your girl Cassie from the Uppity Negress, and I'm here with
Kiki.
And today we will be talking about the problem with Black mothers.
Or rather, America's problem with Black motherhood.
Yes. And the topic more specifically is delving into the misogynist and anti-Black woman rhetoric in this country, particularly as Black women who are, or particularly against Black women who are mothers, and how there is a trope that they are unfit, considering white women ain't any better, or they're actually worse. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. So the reason that we have been feeling some type of way about this issue in particular, because there's been a lot of cases recently where Black children have been taken out of the care of a Black mother unnecessarily and put into the hands of a white family or white mothers who then abuse them. In this situation, Devante Hart, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Devante Hart's case, he and his siblings were taken from his mother, Sherry Davis, because she had a cocaine addiction. But according to pretty much everybody that is close to Miss Davis, she kept her children well fed. She kept, took proper care of them. They were never hungry. They never wanted for anything. But nonetheless, they were taken out of her care in 2006 and put into the care of their aunt, who was the sister of their biological father. Her name was Priscilla
Celestine. Yes.
And then they were taken from Priscilla and put into the care of the Harts after they discovered that Priscilla was allowing their mother to still see them. So they took these children out of two loving homes and put them into the care of the Harts. And the Harts officially adopted all the children in 2009. And their mother has been completely clean for 8 years, meaning she got completely clean and had still been maintaining employment actually throughout that period and still fighting for them throughout that period. But she's been clean since the year after they were adopted. So that kind of reveals a larger issue in the way that we frame Black women as unfit. And we take Black children from loving Black homes because of standards that don't necessarily apply, because these children say that they were being starved by these women, that they were being beat by these women, and there was little to no recourse, even though there were all of these cries for attention, including the viral photo that Devante went viral for, which was the one of him crying and hugging a police officer.
Exactly. And it also even speaks to a larger conversation in regards to the policing of Black women, which is something not often talked about. And you brought up how Devante's mother, Sherry Davis. Sherry Davis. She did have a cocaine addiction at one point in time, did work to get clean.
But even throughout her addiction, she was never, quote, a bad mother.
Exactly. She made sure her children were well fed, never wanted for anything, and she held jobs, multiple jobs at one time, to ensure that her kids were taken care of. Because at the end of the day, her kids were her priority, and her husband or boyfriend, I'm not sure of their marital status, but he was in prison, in and out of prison, while she was still doing the work to take care of her kids. I want to connect this to a program, actually. Sherry's story connects very well to a program called the CRACK program. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it is an acronym for Children Requiring a Caring Community spelled with a K. It has...
Because white people love spelling C words with K, y'all.
And
the whole clan.
Um, the program now, they're trying to rebrand themselves under a new name titled Project Prevention, but it was a program that was meant to ensure permanent sterilization of women who used drugs. It primarily targeted black and brown women, more so poor black and brown women, in urban communities, and it was spearheaded by a woman. It started in 1997 and spearheaded by a woman by the name of Barbara Harris in Stanton, California.
She has a Twitter.
So go drag her. This woman is responsible for continuous amounts of sterilization for black women that target black women specifically, and she pays them $200 to say, we're gonna do this, you're not gonna reproduce, here's your money, and if you refer a friend, she'll give you $50 extra. So it's to ensure that.
So this lady has literally made a business out of sterilizing black and brown women, and that kind of speaks to like the larger conversation on like the quote war on drugs and how it was very much so realistically just a war on the black community, especially when you juxtapose it with how they're treating the opioid crisis. Opioid. I can't say words today. Opioid crisis, and how they are, first of all, not really taking black children from these very actually unfit white mothers who are having their children addicted. I don't know if you guys have ever seen videos of babies who were born addicted to opioids and what that withdrawal process looks like, but it is fucking heartbreaking. But back in the day in crack, if you gave birth to a child that was addicted to crack, they immediately took that child from you.
Did.
They immediately took that child from you, and maybe you never fucking saw them again. But now with the opioid crisis, because it's affecting a different demographic, read white, it's affecting a white demographic. Let's say what it is.
Keyword.
They don't even take the babies from them immediately. They're like, we'll just see how this works out, let you take the baby home, help you get clean and all of that. And so instead of treating it as something that needs to be criminalized, they're treating it as a public health crisis, which is right. That is absolutely the right thing to do. It should have been a public health crisis from the beginning. But the crack epidemic...
Say it with me now.
The crack epidemic was also a public health crisis, but it wasn't treated as such. It was criminalized.
Exactly. So I'm gonna juxtapose this story with a white woman by the name of Erin Mack. Miss Erin Mack here.
Mac, dressed in white.
She's actually dressed in gray in her prison mugshot. But Erin Mack left her kids unsupervised at home. They're a set of twins, age 12, and then a 6 and a 7-year-old. She left them for 12 days to go on a trip to Germany because that's what you do. You leave your kids to go to Germany.
Over a week, y'all.
Over a week. And somehow, some way, police got word that she left her kids unsupervised.
And then when she got the call that the police were involved, she still didn't come back for 3 days or something like that?
Exactly. She took a sweet-ass time getting back to her kids. And she can actually avoid jail time through this process.
Let's not forget the most fun part of the story is the fact that she had a loaded gun out in the open around these children.
Exactly. There was a loaded gun found in her bedroom above where her youngest child slept. And it was just chilling. So, you have a gun in the house. You leave your kids
for over a week. Because it's not necessarily illegal in most states for a child that is over the age of 10 to watch their younger siblings alone. But most laws say that you have to be back in the home before the end of the day. So there's nothing wrong with letting older children watch your children legally, but you're not supposed to leave them overnight or for multiple days.
Right.
And especially not 10 days.
That's just neglect. Utter neglect. So, Erin Mack is actually probably gonna get out of any jail time. Why? Because she's white, point blank, period.
Yeah.
And
Bitch got probation, y'all. They
yeah,
gave her
a white
probation.
judge gave her probation because she did not deserve jail time. Ain't that some fucked up shit?
But then when you juxtapose that story with the stories of women like Laura Browder, who left her children, I think it was a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old or something like that. She left them at a food court so that she could just go have a quick job interview. And she went to jail because of that. Like, she was arrested and she went to jail. Her name is Laura Browder, if you guys want to look into that story. And then we have black mothers that are going to jail for trying to get their children to go to school in better districts. We have black mothers that are, you know, like, I remember there was this one story that came out around the time of Laura Browder's story where it was this white woman, and she left her child in a car seat on top of the car, drove off. The baby fell into the fucking street. The baby fell into the street on like a highway or something. And she didn't get any jail time.
Yep.
We look at stories like Casey Anthony, who told she killed that baby. I don't fucking care. At me. At me. I will fight you. She killed that baby and she didn't get any jail time.
Yeah.
But that was also Florida. Florida is like America's linty belly button.
Florida and Texas. But all of this to say that there is an unfair, disproportionate policing of black women and mothers in this country because it is fueled by misogynist and anti-black rhetoric.
It's like at the intersections of racism, classism, sexism are poor black mothers.
Yes.
And more specifically, poor black single mothers.
Yes.